When I was a kid, one of the movies that made a big impact on me was the 1940 Disney animated film Fantasia. Fantasia was a strange, psychedelic series of 8 animated segments celebrating various pieces of classical music. Composers ranged from Beethoven to Stravinsky to Tchaikovsky and more. Some of the animated shorts told a very clear story, such as the segment featuring Mickey Mouse as an apprentice to a mastermind magician. Others were more abstract. There's a section dedicated to music from the Nutcracker, which features strange abstract images of dancing flowers, and even a whole segment dedicated to animating a single line as a sound wave imitating various instruments in the orchestra. Even 80 years later, Fantasia feels very modern, and it's well worth viewing if you haven't seen it already. I think I probably first saw Fantasia when I was 6 or 7 years old. I was fascinated by the imagery and the colors, and indeed the musical colors that I heard coming from the TV set. I loved the segment about the dinosaurs, showing the evolution of creatures on Earth and how the dinosaurs eventually became extinct. In Fantasia, the music for each cartoon came before the animation and inspired it. You could almost think of these as being very early, very elaborate music videos. What you're about to see and hear was inspired by Fantasia and by movies like it. This project, which is called Birth of a Gorgon, began its life as an art song based on a text by my friend Ken Hallowell. The poem depicts the unhappy transfiguration of a beautiful woman into a gorgon, such as Medusa, with snakes for her hair and a petrifying gaze. The performance of this art song, which formed the foundation for this video, was by Austin-based soprano Liz Cass and myself on piano. The animation that accompanies this music was rendered by artificial intelligence, which uses millions of captioned images from around the internet to produce novel imagery, which you'll see here today. Each image began as a text prompt, which the software would then attempt to replicate on the screen as faithfully as possible through tens of thousands of iterations. Some of the imagery that the computer produced was quite beautiful and relatively faithful to the original concept. As for the rest, well, we tried. Now, although none of the imagery in this video is anything that you couldn't put on at, say, an office environment, I should warn that some of this imagery is a little bit disturbing, and probably not for children. So without further ado, here is a collaboration between myself, singer Liz Cass, and writer Ken Hallowell. Birth of a Gorgon. Enjoy. This video is sponsored by viewers like you. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing at bentibbets.net. Thanks very much for your support.